Hello, and thank you for contacting Wave Support. I see from your clinical request that you've got a patient here who's doing pretty well in their Wave lenses in the right eye, but your left eye are having some troubles with decentration, causing that bifocal to not line up. Well, if you look at the designs here, just a comment about the topographies. If you look, they both have some toricity on that cornea, but if you notice on this right eye up here, you've got, even though they get a little steeper area here, it does extend a little bit more up here. So you do have somewhat of a symmetric cornea here. So when you did your um, GSIM designs, it probably lined up very nicely at this meridian and here, and that probably allows that right lens to center very nicely. You've done a great job, I think, overall in these designs, but if we look at this left eye, you notice we have a little more steepening and a little more flattening on this upper side, so we're a little more asymmetric here. And I suspect what's happening is that this being a little steeper area, the nicely designed lens that you came up with is just sliding down this northern slope of the peak here and just causing that lens to float upward a little bit more. You've done all the right things as far as this design with keeping the center part thicker to try to get that to drop down. And overall the design looks good. But when I run into these kind of situations, I find that getting the lens bigger if you have to can be helpful. But I try to start looking at this little area and see maybe if we should go for more of a free-form design to try to account for the little difference down the bottom there. And if you remember how we do that, you kind of click on that bottom one, and somewhere maybe halfway in through there, I don't know, we'll pick a spot here just to see how it looks. We'll go say 4.5. Let's bring this in a little bit here. Well, even before we do that, if we just leave it as is, you see we got this area. If we just click it on freeform, and we go to current settings, we'll give it a moment here to design the lens. And you now have a lens that's pretty well lined up in all these meridians. So you got a pretty nice looking lens here. If you want to play around a little bit with this placement of these OZs, sometimes we'll try to go a little bit smaller on this one here. Let's see what happens if we go over here from where you're about 6.2. Let's go to about, let's go down here about, just for simplicity, we'll go here at about 5 or so. And we'll set this other one here at about 6. And we'll do it again and see what happens. And give the software a moment here to think. And once again, you get actually a really nice looking lens here with pretty nice alignment. So what I would, I think this is a pretty good looking lens right here. You'll look in the back surface of this lens, you'll notice you have a little steeper area here now, which more closely mimics this here. And if you want to make that lens a little flatter, let's see if I can put a spheric design to it. If you notice I did that, when you make it a little bit more spheric, you have a very nicely matching back surface of the lens now, very closely mimics this. And although sometimes these lenses will still also decenter a little bit, I think a design like this might get you a little closer to being consistently lined up over that pupil so you can get that bifocal to work. So with that said, just to summarize, I think this is a little peak here is causing a little trouble with that lens wanting to float upward. So I would look at maybe redesigning it in a free-form design to try to make use of the free-form fit over that little area. And I think that should hopefully get you a little bit more centered. If you're unsuccessful with that, you may need to just go larger on the lens. Maybe even try to make this bifocal a little bit bigger to account for the fact that it might be a little, might have a little movement in through here. But with that said, I wish you well with this case and have a great day. Thank you for contacting Wave Support.